Hello again, folks. Deadman back with another terrible movie review. Now, the one in question today is an abomination known as spiders. Yes, spiders. Spiders. In case you didn't get that, spiders. Why am I saying the title of this movie so often? Well, let's see. I'm emphasizing this because it's about fucking spiders. Now, normally not a big problem. I know characters in movies aren't supposed to know they're in a movie, but let's face it, folks. Anybody of common mind, common sense would see a giant fucking spider and instantly know it's a spider. What other creature on this earth looks that way, and especially in a giant form? Either this is going to be one of the most elaborate hoaxes ever pulled, or it's a spider, a giant fucking spider. Fill in whatever definition you want to, but either way, it's a spider. People in this movie keep asking the same question, and it drove me insane. What the fuck? When you see a spider, you don't sit there and go, oh, what's that? Gee, dumbass, it's a spider. The crocodile hunter is dead, and I doubt any of us really had the balls to take over and do what he did. The people in this movie are just like, oh, it's a 4-foot, 6-foot giant fucking spider. Let's go poke it with a stick. That seems a logical thing to do. Let's go poke it with a stick. So, let's get on with this abomination. Now, the biggest thing about this movie is, and I had to bring this out first because it annoys me the most, is that it was filmed, alright, loosely filmed in New York City. New York City, New York, United States. The reason I'm bringing this up as such a prominent point is because New York City is a very expansive and very recognizable city for any director or filmmaker to film in, and it's most of the time quite an honor. But filming on a back lot that you rented from your uncle's house using the same 2 fucking blocks over and over and over again is just bad, folks. It's just bad. If you can't afford to film in New York City, don't try to make it look like New York City. I'm serious. The 2 same fucking blocks came up over and over and over and over again. In the chase sequences, as I'm watching this fucking movie, I sat there and thought, why are you chasing them? Just stand still. They'll turn the block and come right back around to you. You just gotta stay there. It's the same 2 blocks. Now, some space station was conducting some alien gene splicing experiment with spiders. Of course, they get loose, they come to Earth in a subway. Now, here's another thing that really pisses me off about this movie, is that it's the same 30 feet of track every single fucking time. As if New York City suddenly was just sealed off to this 2-block radius and this one set of tracks that's about 30-40 feet long, and that's it. That's it. That's as far as the movie goes. I wish I was kidding about this. The epic fight scene at the end takes place on the same goddamn 2 blocks that the rest of the fucking movie does. It's annoying as shit to somebody like me who actually pays attention to what you're trying to accomplish. Another thing about this movie is that it fails so miserably in trying to take itself seriously. If you're going to try to take itself seriously, don't spend your money on a terrible backlot, even more terrible CG, and 35 feet of track that you're going to be filming on over and over and over and over again. Don't waste your time with D-list actors that can't perform. And really about this is that it's not the actor's fault, it's the writer's fault, because you have such terrible lines and terrible dialogue, terrible just progression of the story, to the point where it just gets exhausting. This movie is about, not gonna lie, about 20 to 30 minutes longer than it ever should have been. I've seen movies make a better point in far less time this movie took to try to make itself established or give you reason to care about the characters. Nobody's here about the fucking characters. We all want to see the giant fucking spiders tear shit apart and eat people. That's the way these films work. For fuck's sake, why do you think Eight-Legged Freaks was such a huge success? They filmed in podunk fucking nowhere, but it was a huge success because we got what we wanted. We wanted to see giant spiders running amok. How is it that this movie somehow tries to make itself more or better than something like Eight-Legged Freaks or any terrible B flick involving a giant creature of some sort? Now, another thing you're going to see when you watch this movie is the severe lack of consistency. These spiders go from a few inches to 4 feet tall to 6 feet tall, and they all kill human beings, not the way a spider would, but by ripping them apart somehow. I did not know spiders were capable of that. Apparently, my information that I've learned over the years about spiders has been very wrong. Yeah. No, it hasn't. These guys are just fucking morons. So let's break it down, okay? The main enemy in the movie, the one that takes forever to show up, and that is again a director trying to create suspense about, you know, the big baddie coming to wreak havoc, is, I guess, the queen or the mother spider, who in her initial shot comes out and she is 5, 6, 7 stories tall. Okay, an impressive spider, but the fact is that you modeled this spider after what? What fucking species of spider is this? I get that you're trying to say that you used an alien species in the movie, but you also covered the fact that you crossbred these spiders with spiders from Earth. There's going to be some characteristics there. This thing was nothing like that. This thing was just every B-movie creature shoved into one stereotype. Fucking terrible. God, it was terrible. And what I mean by consistency is that, okay, 5, 6, 7 stories tall, how did this creature manage to squeeze itself into a 20-foot tall track line? Yeah. It's chasing folks around in this underground, you know, railway track that it suddenly fits in. You have asked me far too much to swallow far too much bullshit in this movie to even give a fuck at this point. But another really bad thing about this movie is, like I said, consistency. Earlier in the movie, it's established that the webbing of the queen or mother spider can be developed or used to create some kind of new body armor that's almost impenetrable. But the queen spider traps one of the characters, and the other characters get her out of this supposedly impossible to break webbing by pawing at it. Yeah, this fucking motion, that's it. That's what it took to get her out. Not some plasma cutter, not a jackhammer, not a hacksaw, anything. No, they fucking pawed at it like a declawed cat going after a scratching post. It's ridiculous. It's horrible. The director made it far too serious. Should have stuck with the B-movie formula. Make it campy. Make it good. And for fuck's sake, allow us a little bit of fantasy. Don't try to shove characters down our throats that we're really not going to give a fuck about in the end. This movie's fucking terrible. I don't approve of it. Avoid it at all costs. If you see it on Netflix, call the 1-800 number and complain.